Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee with Kai, where we have real conversations over coffee about real estate, community, lifestyle, and the people and programs making a difference here in Central Florida. I'm Kai Rousey, realtor with ER Grizzard Real Estate, and today's conversation is one I'm really excited about because it's so close to my heart. We're talking about Homes for Heroes. It's a program created to give back to the people who give so much to our communities, our veterans, active military, law enforcement, firefighters, EMS, healthcare professionals, and of course, teachers. Today, I am so excited to welcome Janelle Flay, who is an affiliate engagement consultant with Homes for Heroes and a proud U.S. Army veteran. Janelle works very closely with Homes for Heroes affiliates across the country, guiding real estate and lending professionals who are committing to serving those people who serve our communities. Now, as a veteran herself, Janelle brings a personal understanding of service, sacrifice, and community to the work she does. She has a true passion for helping heroes understand the benefits available to them when buying, selling, or refinancing a home. Janelle, thank you so much for joining me with for coffee with Kai. And I'm so happy to have you. And let's get into it.
So excited.
Thanks. So before we get really into the details, I always like to start with something fun. So since working with Homes for Heroes, what's one funny, surprising, or unique story that has really stuck with you?
I think it's so surprising when you run into people that have actually been directly affected by Homes for Heroes and you're not expecting it. Recently, I was at the airport and this TSA person ran up to me and was like, "Can I hug you?" And I was like, because you're not traditionally nice
Sure.
people. And she was like, "You just have to know my dad bought his home using the Homes for Heroes benefits. And I'm also a veteran myself, and I plan on using it when I buy my first home. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything that you and your company does." And I was so like blown away because I was just literally wearing a hoodie. And it just like was amazing to have like a complete stranger be like, "Your impact has changed our lives in a real way."
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. It was probably like scary too, because you're like, what have I done? I'm in line at
A little
TSA.
bit. A little bit. I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah, what's happening? What's happening right now? Okay, so before we really get into the program itself, tell me and tell everyone about what your connection with Homes for Heroes is. Like, how did you become part of the organization, and what was that moment that you realized, like, this is something that I want to be a part of?
So, at one point in my life, I was actually working for a real estate team, again, working with clients. And I was told about this role from another operations director. And I looked into it and I was like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to work for a company that is mission driven, that has a soul behind it. Like, not to say that real estate agents don't have soul, but at the same point, I really wanted to like
Wait,
do
that was
something.
good. Sometimes we do feel like we have sold our souls, but that was great. Yes, yes. Thank you for that. That was good.
Wait a minute.
Perfect. No, go ahead.
And when I was doing the interview process, they had me meet with so many people. Like, I met with the director, I met with the CFO, I met with HR, I met with the team leader, and every single one of them spoke about this as if it was more than just a company. It was truly something that was like with heart, with purpose, with something else behind it. And I was like, I just really want to be a part of that because I want to give back to the people that also, I mean, I was a veteran. So for me, like being mission driven is incredible. It's incredible.
I love that. And I think that's why you and I like kind of mesh because
Yeah.
I am very goal oriented. I've got a goal, a mission. Let's do it. Like, I want to reach every person that is possibly eligible for Homes for Heroes. I want to help them and let's do it now. Like, let's go. So
You're
that's
just a
great.
checklist guy.
Yeah, right, right. Exactly. Excel is my friend.
Oh,
I've got, steps and everything. That's so funny.
I love a good
Oh,
spreadsheet.
that's hilarious. So let's talk about, for someone who's watching and has never heard of Homes for Heroes. So let's start at the beginning. How would you explain, Homes for Heroes in a simple, everyday term?
So Homes for Heroes is truly, it stems from actually as a result of 9/11. And our company CEO wanted to find a way to give back to our community heroes in a way that was able to support real estate agents and loan specialists and also a legal faction. So we started in Minnesota, and ultimately the goal of Homes for Heroes is to give back to heroes nationwide. So our agents give back a part of their commission, our loan specialists waive certain fees, and ultimately that is the mission of the company as a whole, is to give back to every hero as much as we can.
And when we talk about heroes, I do want to, just bring up a quick slide. So when we talk about who is a hero, maybe let's dive a little bit into that. Like what constitutes a hero in this,
For
you know,
sure. So you should know
in
that
this
image,
game.
by the way,
Yeah.
those are all real heroes.
Yeah.
They're all real heroes. They're not models. So that's one of the big things too. Is yes, we do have firefighters, EMS, law enforcement, military, healthcare workers, and teachers. Those are the five main categories. However, there are a lot of other kind of roles within the hero world that are maybe kind of like adjacent to these. So, for example, people will ask us, 911 dispatch, like with teachers, is does it include, the custodial staff? Does it include the administrative staff? And we ultimately tell everybody, if you feel that they are a hero within your community and
Yeah.
you want to give back to them, you certainly can. We don't ask for proof. All that we ask is that if one hero is thanked, that same type of hero is thanked moving forward.
That's perfect. And yeah, I would agree. I think of it as anyone who is doing a job that benefits someone else, that is a job that I would never want to do. And all of these are ones I would never want to do, but I appreciate their sacrifice and their service so much.
Mhm.
As you know, my husband is a retired Air Force veteran. And so that's where my passion for this comes from. But I also have to say, there's no way I could be a teacher. No way. I couldn't do it. You
Such
know,
a thank. Well, my
yeah.
mom was a teacher, and I know how hard she
So
worked.
that's who I just think anybody who is in those positions, that is something that I would never do, and they are giving of themselves and giving back to their community. I think they're absolute heroes. So that's great. Thank you for clearing that up. So now when we talk about it, let's talk about how the program works. So
Mm.
like I know a misconception that I hear a lot is it's only for first time home buyers. So maybe let's talk about who qualifies. We talked about uh, who qualifies, but what do they qualify for? Let's talk about that.
For sure. So it actually can work for a transaction that is a buy, a sell, or a refinance. So that gives a lot of wide range of options. And yes, you're right. One of the common misconceptions is that it is only for first time home buyers. And the reality is, it could be for maybe a veteran that is downsizing because their kids have moved out. They just want to buy a smaller home. They can still use that program to help them get, sell that house and buy a new house. They can use it both times.
On
So
both
that,
ends. Yeah.
yes, they certainly can. For refinancing, we know that some people did have to buy in the past 2 years at a pretty high percentage. So they can still go back to that Homes for Heroes loan specialist and refinance now because some of the percentages might be lower and they would still get a benefit for it. So ultimately, it can be a transaction of any sort. So we
Oh,
ultimately say, don't think of it just as first time home buyers. It is
yeah.
for transactions.
It's for anyone. So how does the hero reward work? Like what exactly do they receive in that? And when do they receive it?
For sure. So I'm going to speak to the loan side of it first, just
Okay.
because that's a little bit cleaner. The loan side of it actually is super dependent on the loan specialist's financial institution, but typically they actually will receive their reward from that specialist as either like a credit, or the specialist will pay for the appraisal, something of that nature. So that's how that's taken care of. For the agent side of it, it actually is an amazing give back that comes from the agent's gross commission. And how that works is the agent sends that to Homes for Heroes. And then from that, it's cut and sent to the hero on behalf of the agent as a thank you. So they traditionally receive that reward about um, two to, I would say 10 to 15 days after they close, if everyone does everything right. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but it's usually around $700 for every $100,000. It's typically that amount.
And
So,
it's cash. It's an actual check made out to the hero, and they can use it. I know I've had one of my heroes used it for they needed to replace the hot water tank, and they're like, perfect. It was no cash out of their pocket. They received the reward, and they were able to use it for, I'm not going to say an unexpected expense. They kind of knew that the hot water tank was on its last legs, but they were like, this was perfect because it actually helped pay for something and they didn't have to come up with, I think it was $1,800. They were able to use their reward for that. So it is a cash. There's no fees, no hidden agenda here. It's truly just me giving back through the Homes for Heroes program as an affiliate to those heroes.
yeah. And the cool thing about, in particular in Florida, it is one of the states that we do have the ability, if the hero absolutely needs the money to close, they can do it as a credit to close as well. So that's
Oh,
another wonderful benefit to
oh,
have in
fantastic.
Florida in
Yeah,
particular.
that's great to know. Okay. So why do you think that this program means so much to the heroes that use it? Like why do you think, like the lady who came up to you at the airport, like out of the blue because you were wearing a sweatshirt, like what do you think it was about the program that made her be so thankful and then tell you, I'm going to use it too?
So people do like money. I won't lie about that.
Right.
But the example that you gave, like with that water heater, these are things like this reward, this give back, this thank you are things that can directly impact their lives for the better. I'm just going to give you a quick example. First time home buyer buying a fixer upper house potentially. Um, Maybe they have a pet. Maybe they need to fix their fence in order to keep their pet safe. And having that money, that funds could really help improve their life. The other thing with Homes for Heroes is because we do have other tools that are available, there are a lot of savings that can be offered, not by only working with the agent or the loan specialist, but we also have what's called Friends of Heroes, where we have title companies that will give money back. We have inspectors that will give a discount. And ultimately, by working with that program, they can truly save a lot of money. And that's a lot of value for when you buy a home. A lot of the times, maybe it's first time, maybe second time at the most, but having that extra savings, having that extra thank you just because of what they do, that means a lot.
It really does. And I believe, Janelle, that it's a tangible way to say thank you. It's not just a pat on the back, thank you, here's a cup of coffee, thanks for your service. It's actual, no, I am giving you back because I believe in you, I believe in what you do, and it is a tangible gift of thanks for their service. And I think that's very powerful. And you mentioned friends of the program also. People do not realize, like, okay, I want to buy a house. And a good example in the territory that I'm in, where it's a lot of downsizers, right? They're moving from out of state. They're coming to Florida as their retirement. They're getting rid of their big house. They're coming here. So they're not first time home buyers, but they're like, I used to be a teacher, I used to be a nurse or whatever. I'm like, great, you're part of the program. But being able to then give them names of other programs like movers, out of state movers, different programs like that that say, hey, we want to give back too. How can we give back? But it's only through this program, being a true affiliate, that
Mhm.
says, yes, we're all on the same page. We all want to do this because a lot of people will say, oh yeah, I give back. And when it's like, well, but do you really? You can pick and choose. In this program, there's no picking and choosing. You're in it for the long haul, and you're doing it because it's something that you really and truly believe in.
Exactly. And it's, again, I think it truly speaks to the spirit and the goal of just finding different special ways to say, thank you so much for everything that you do. You worked really hard. You gave so much of yourself. And now we want to give some of ourself back as well.
Well, and that is a great point. So let's talk about how actually Homes for Heroes also gives back. So let's talk about the Heroes Foundation for just a minute.
For sure. Yeah. The circle of giving is kind of a big deal for us. Not even kind of, it's a big deal for us. And essentially, Homes for Heroes funds a nonprofit foundation. And what the nonprofit foundation does is when our heroes close, a portion of what the agent and the loan specialist give back are also going to fund that foundation. Now, that foundation helps other nonprofits nationwide, which so it's kind of amazing because that means our affiliates that are helping with Homes for Heroes are not only helping the heroes in their community, they're helping heroes everywhere. And I'm just going to give a quick example of one of our legacy foundations.
Absolutely.
Um, I'm here in Minnesota, and we have a legacy foundation that was actually, we sponsored a burn unit here in Minnesota that it's one of our wings. And it's so cool because we literally have gotten to meet some of the heroes that have stayed at that wing, some of the firefighters that have directly contributed to helping heroes that have stayed in that wing. And it's again beautiful to be able to kind of really speak to how much it has affected other people and who they've served. So, yeah, we get to do this often. It also funds, we do monthly foundations as well, not just legacies. So it's kind of, again, we get to really speak to different hero groups on the regular to say thank you as a whole for our nonprofits that we sponsor.
Oh, fantastic. And I do know that that was something that was important to me because when you partner with a company, you need to make sure that you have the same values and same thought processes. So when I was researching, like, is this a company that I should partner with and become an affiliate with? I was so excited to see that not only in the home buying process, but also some of the actual needs that these heroes actually have, like their physical needs, like you said, for burn units and things like that. It to be able to give towards that too is something that was important to me, and I really am appreciative of that. Now, how can we didn't really talk about this, so I'm going to throw you for a loop here, but let's talk about how easy it is to get set up with Homes for Heroes. So for all of you watching, as Kai Rousey, I have my own QR code that you can scan, and it'll take you right to the Homes for Heroes site. You can log in, enter your information, and then you can expect a phone call, a text message, an email from me pretty quickly that says, hey, let's connect. Let me see where you are in the home buying process. And Janelle, I don't know if we mentioned, but they don't have to be like ready to buy a house right now. They could still be renting and looking 6, 12 months down the road and say, I think we're going to be ready at the first of the year. There's no time like the present. Is that correct?
I definitely agree. And I think one of the biggest things that I hear and see, not only from affiliates like you, a lot of our affiliates are very open to nurturing longer term relationships because we do understand that maybe not everybody is ready to go right now.
Exactly.
But having that connection started already, having that process started already. We have a lot of loan specialists that are very open to education and very open to talking about creating wealth to buy the home eventually. And the same thing with our agents. They're very open to nurturing that long-term relationship. So yes, even if you're thinking about, okay, you know what, I'm currently renting for the next 12 months. I just started my lease and it's about 3 months into it, but I do know that I want to buy next year. Start that conversation now.
Right, exactly. And one thing for all of you with Coffee with Kai, you remember the last video I did was with a lender, Ken Stasi from American Mortgage, who talked about like there's no time like the present. Let's get your credit in order. He is a Homes for Heroes affiliate also, and he and I work closely together. Just because I can't show you houses right now and you need to get your credit handled or, work out through the programs, whatever, Ken and I work very closely together, and I encourage you to go get set up and let's start working towards that dream of owning a home or selling your home, buying a new one, whatever it may be. So I thank you for, that was a little left turn there that we took. I
No
really,
worries. And you know
really,
what? Honestly, the partnership conversation is truly important because you know now that if you're a hero, you're signing up to talk to Kai. You know exactly who she's going to be partnered with. And
right.
Ken is lovely. He's a
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful person too. So the fact that he's very open to education as well means that you're going to be working with a great team.
Yeah. It's just been fantastic since I started. So,
Yeah.
okay, now we're ready to do our quick fire. Are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Ready? Coffee or tea?
Tea,
Favorite way to start your morning?
stretching,
One word you would use to describe Homes for Heroes.
passionate,
Oh, very good. Let's see. Favorite part of your role?
people.
Okay. Where should they go to learn more?
Homesforheroes.com or Kai's QR code.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, Janelle, before we wrap up, one final question. What is one thing that you would recommend or you would want someone to take away from our conversation today?
I would want people to know that it's never too early to start really planning it out. There is a lot of possibilities out there, and our Homes for Heroes affiliates like Kai are wanting to help you get into a home. They want to help you downsize your home. They want to help you refinance. So ask the questions, register, look into it. Even if you're not ready for 8 months, start that process because the more knowledge you have now, the stronger you're going to be in the long run.
Oh, so true, so true. Well, Janelle, thank you so much for joining me today and really explaining and diving in about what is Homes for Heroes. I really appreciate it. And for all of you, I just love this program because it recognizes the people who serve our communities every single day. And for anyone watching, if you think you may qualify or you know someone who may qualify, ask the question. You don't have to figure it out alone. You don't have to wait. You can reach out to me directly. And they're probably, with their Homes for Heroes program, able to provide real savings when you're either buying, selling, or refinancing your home. Janelle, thanks again for being here and everything that you do with Homes for Heroes. And thank you for being my lifeline for when I have any questions. And to everyone watching, I'm Kai Rousey with Coffee with Kai. And one more thought before your coffee gets cold. Happy birthday, America. Cheers. See you next time.